Have you ever wanted to meet your future self and see what wisdom they have to share with you? Hey dreamers, it's Max, and once again, welcome back to Team Lucid Dream. Okay, so this was another dream that happened quite a few years ago, and initially what I wanted to do was find my childhood self. Now for some reason I could never seem to find them. Or if I did find them, they'd kind of be very, very blurry, and they'd just run away from me if I tried to speak to them. Now the reason for trying to find my past self was just to ask them any questions and see if there was anything I could do as an adult to make my child self feel comfortable. Now, you know, it might seem a bit odd because that's my child self and there's nothing I can do for them, but I kind of wanted to speak to my inner child, if you understand what I mean. But because that wasn't happening, I figured, why don't I try and find my future self? Now, obviously my future self couldn't really give me any advice as far as I was aware because my future self hasn't happened yet. But I figured it would be a fun little thing to try and do. I'm having a dream, and it's a bit of an anxiety dream. There is this storm on the horizon that's coming very, very slowly, and nobody else in the dream is really that bothered about this storm. Like, they just think, I know, it'll come, it'll pass, whatever. But I'm feeling a lot of anxiety about it, a lot of sort of very subtle anxiety, but it's there. And that feeling follows me throughout the whole dream. Eventually I am on I'm either on a train or a bus, and David Cameron is there, naturally, speaking to a group of old women, trying to convince them that they should vote for the Tory party. And I think the combination of this very weird encounter and this sense of impending doom makes me question my surroundings, and I don't have to reality check it, just kind of that switch goes off in my head and I'm like, yeah, I'm dreaming. So I jump off the train and I fly over this really beautiful kind of forest with these pink and blue trees that are sort of very sparkly, and it's quite foggy, but these trees, they stand out quite a bit and it's really beautiful. I land and I remember my intention to meet my future self, so I go on a bit of a walk and I find a kind of old building that's sort of fallen apart. I go in there still thinking to myself, I want to see my future self, and the most profound sort of imagery ever is what I experience next. I see somebody and he's sort of facing away from me, and he's knelt down on the floor and he has a rabbit in his hand, and he's passing this rabbit to a blurry child. Now, I don't make the connection at first, but seeing as though my past self always appeared very blurry, I figure this must be my past self, and rabbits are a symbol that I've always held dear to me throughout my whole life. Like this little guy, who is actually the real Rah-Rah rabbit. But, you know, rabbits have always been like a thing that is a common theme that runs through my life. So the fact that this guy was giving my child self a rabbit felt like a very important image, especially when I walked around to the front of this guy, looked at his face and realised it was me. Now the child took the rabbit and scuttled away, and I was left staring at my future self. Now he looked just like me. I guess he looked more like my dad, but you know, I figured I'm going to end up looking like my dad eventually. He had a full beard, which I was so thankful for, because I don't know if you've noticed, but that's all the facial hair I can get, and it really bums me out. So I was really happy that my future self had this awesome beard going on, and I just stared at myself for a while, and I was hit with this such intense emotion, and I cried a little bit. I always seem to cry in my dreams. I really struggle to cry in real life, so I think that it comes out a lot in these dreams. My future self didn't speak. He never spoke a word. But I felt this really strong connection, and I felt safe. Now what followed next was a load of like dark entities, which kind of looked like a bit like a dog, but it was very shadowy. They started to attack, and I think there was a few men with baseball bats as well that came along that started to attack us. Now I just ran away like petrified because I didn't know what to do, and my future self just immobilised all of these people, you know, the people with the baseball bats, the weird dark dog entity, he just kind of was able to stop them. He didn't actually get into a physical fist fight with them, he was just able to stop them. And I thought this was a very interesting kind of symbol here, because for me, as I am now, I saw these problems as something I need to get the hell away from, just run away from them, and they would continue to pursue me and I'd just continue to run. Now my future self took care of these problems. He didn't fight them, he didn't get aggressive towards them, but he was able to slow them down. Now, he didn't destroy them, he didn't kill them, they basically kept on coming, but for the time being he was able to keep them at bay and sort of stop them. And I took this to mean that I'm always going to have some issues in my life. Everyone is, right? Everyone's going to have some issues. You know, some more than others, I don't know. But I took this to mean that I'm always going to be pursued by certain problems in my life. But if I keep running from them, then I'm never really going to get anywhere. Whereas my future self, he took them on. He was able to, for the time being at least, slow them down. So whenever I'm having a difficult time, I like to think of my future self and how he's still going. He's still, I mean, I'm still alive in that version of things, and he's tackling his problems. He's tackling our problems, my problems. I don't really know why I'm speaking about him in the third person, but he's still going. He's still soldiering through, and he has found ways to handle the problems. He knows they're never going to stop, but he's doing it. He's working through those things, and I aspire to be like that person. And how can I be more like him? And how can I have better facial hair? So, you know, that's another dream vlog from me there, guys. I hope that it was interesting for you. I hope it's given you something to think about as well. Maybe you should try and find your future self in a dream and see what kind of person they are. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget that Friday is our Q&A with Geo, so if you want to get your questions answered, remember to leave some comments below with questions, or go to our forum at teamluciddream.com and leave your questions there. Okay guys, this was Max. I'll see you in the next video.